Hello, this is week 8, day 2. We are still talking about reading graphs. Yesterday we talked about picture graph, or earlier today since it didn't post yesterday, but today we're talking about bar graphs. There's many different graphs that we can use to gather information. You do not have this page in your packet. I'm just going to use this to kind of get your brain ready to go, so don't look for it. You don't have this packet. The page that we are going to start on after I go over this is on page 672, okay? So just follow along just so you have an idea of what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be using bar graphs to help us understand. Our essential question is, how is a bar graph used to show data? So here we have a bar graph. The title of the bar graph is called Red Trucks Seen Last Week. This bar graph was made to show, excuse me, made to show what red trucks Morgan and her friends saw last week. Each red square represents one red truck that the children saw. Okay, so we see here that Morgan saw 3 trucks, so I'm going to write 3 right next to Morgan's name. Terrell saw how many trucks? Well, in order to find out, you have to count across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we see that it's going across, not up and down. Jasmine saw what looks like the most red trucks last week. She saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red trucks. And Carlos saw 4 red trucks last week. So now we have an idea of what this graph is showing us and how many red trucks each of these children saw. Morgan made a picture graph to show the number of red trucks that she and her friends saw last week. How many red trucks did the 4 children see last week? So I'm asking you, how many red trucks did all 4 of the children see last week? So that means we have to figure out the number for all together. So if we look at this, we already wrote down how many they saw individually. We just have to add them up. So I have 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4. And we're trying to figure out how many total that they saw. And we can break these into easier ways to solve. I know that 6 and 4 gives me 10. So I've used those. And now I have 3 plus 8. Very good. That's 11. And now I just add 11 plus 10. And that will tell me the total amount of red trucks that the children saw. Who can tell me? Give you 10 seconds to think about it. 11 plus 10. 5 more seconds. 21 red trucks. For those of you that solved it, awesome job. There were 21 red trucks that the children saw all together. Now let's look at what you have. We are on page 672. We're using the bar graph. We're going to use the bar graph to show data or to read data. We're going to look at where the bar ends, and that's going to tell us how many. So let's kind of go through this. Right here, we have the title of the bar graph, Children Playing Games. Here are the outdoor games that they're playing, which was listed on the sides. We have basketball, jump rope, soccer, and tag. And at the bottom, it shows the numbers 0 through 9. This is telling us how many children played the different games that are listed on the side. So if we look at it, if we look at basketball and we want to know how many children played basketball, we would slide our finger to the end and go down, and that tells us 6. 6 children played basketball. So we'll do that for each one, and that's how we'll be able to see. Now, if you want, you can just keep going back up here to check, or you can do what I did on the other page, which Ms. Hill likes to make it simplified for herself, but you don't have to do that. But for those of you who like the method, I like to look first to see where it ends at. So I know basketball ends at 6. Jump rope ends at 3. Soccer, so I scooch across and then go down to see where it ends, at 8 children. And tag had 5 children. Okay, that's what I like to do when I'm looking at the bar graph. You don't have to do that. You can always come back and look at it and see for yourself. Okay, so let's look at the share and show at the bottom. Let's go through it. We have a different bar graph, and the title of the bar graph is Marbles in a Bag. So we're going to be looking at how many marbles are in a bag. On the side, this time they put the numbers like they did for number of children. They just put it on the side, and that's okay. You can do that as well. You can move things around. Bar graphs don't always have to go across. They can also go up and down. So here it says number of marbles, and the number of marbles are listed from 0 to 7. And then across the bottom, it says the color of marbles, which are red, blue, green, and purple. Now, the same thing that I did before, I like to go through it to kind of get an idea because it makes it faster for me to answer questions. So how many red marbles were in a bag? If I go across, I see that there are 2. How many blue marbles are in a bag? If I go up and over, what number do you see? That's right, 6. I'm just going to put 6 under blue. For green, I go up and I go over and I see that there are, very good, 4. And for purple, 3. Now I'm ready to dive into these questions over here. How many green marbles are in the bag? So I'm going to go find the green. I don't need red, I don't need blue, I need green. How many green marbles are in the bag? If I go up and over, or if I look at my little sheet, there are 4 green marbles. Great job. How many more blue marbles than purple marbles are in the bag? Ooh, so right away I see how many more, and we know when we see the words how many more, we're going to, that's right, subtract. How many more blue marbles than purple marbles? So how many more blue marbles? First I find the blue. There are 6. I'm going to put 6 right above the word blue to help me figure out what's important information. Then purple marbles, and I know that there are 3 purple marbles are in the bag. Now I had to set up my number sentence, and we know we don't put the smaller number in the front. We put the bigger number first. So what's my subtraction sentence going to be? Yes, 6 minus 3 equals a number. 6 minus 3 gives us 3 more blue marbles. So there are 3 blue marbles, 3 more blue marbles than purple marbles. Another thing that you can do for those of you who the number sentence doesn't make sense, you can say blue marbles. I'm going to write 6 B's for blue. Blue, 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 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blues, 3 purples. Purple, purple, purple. And I'm going to tag them together to show this one is blue to purple, this one's blue to purple, this one's blue to purple, but I don't have any purples to match up with the blue. How many blues do I have left over? 3. Just like when I did the number sentence of 6 minus 3, there's 3 blues left over without a match. Very good. So that's another strategy you can use if you prefer. Number 3 says, how many marbles are in the bag? Okay. How many marbles are in the bag? So we know there are red ones, blue ones, green ones, and purples. They want to know how many marbles all together are in the bag. So what do we need to do? That's right. We need to take all these numbers and add them up just like we did on the other page, or like I did when you watched me. I have 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3, and it's going to equal a mystery number. Now I know if I put 6 and 4 together, it gives me how much? Very good, 10. I'm done with 6 and 4. If I add 2 plus 3, what's 2 plus 3 going to give me? Very good, 5. 10 plus 5 gives me how many marbles all together? Excellent, 15 marbles. I see you've been working on your math facts. Nice job. Let's flip it like a pancake. And let's look at this page right here. This is the on your own page that I like for you to try yourself. Favorite places to go. So you're going to do the same thing where you're looking at favorite places to go. The places that they are talking about is the aquarium, the zoo, the beach, and the museum. And this bar graph goes across this way. So you go across and you come down and you find the number of children that visited those places. You're going to use this bar graph to answer the 5 questions below. Let's take a look at the Think Smarter, because it's always just a little bit harder. I'm not going to fully answer it with you, but I am going to help you start it. Greg chose a place that has more votes than the aquarium and the museum together. Which place did Greg choose? So Greg's going to choose to visit a place that has more votes or more visits than the aquarium and the museum together. So I have to find the aquarium and I have to find the museum. And I go across and I see the aquarium had 4 children visit it and the museum had 3 children visit it. And it says he chose a place that had more votes than the aquarium and the museum together. So I have to put those numbers together down here. So we have 4 from the aquarium plus 3 from the museum. And I'm going to solve to find out how much that equals. Once we know how much that equals, we're then going to go back and look at this chart, bar graph, for favorite places to go, and see which place has more children that visited than the aquarium and the museum together. You're going to write that on the line, and that will be your answer. All right, I look forward to seeing. Make sure you show your work so I know what you did. All right, see you for the next math lesson.